All right, good evening. The retailer I decided to take a look into today is a Lowe's. I want to start out by walking in here. You see big branding on the front. I see everything out front here, mainly stuff that's set up for seasonal. A whole lot of lawnmowers, wintertime. I know we see a lot of different snow blowers, things like that. You see some firewood, everything that's convenient for bonfires, things like that. You see one entrance here, and for customers, down there is more of a contractor pickup for like a lumber yard. So lots of space, lots of functionality for employees and people picking up alike. And here we see a sign that is set for pickup. And then if you look out here, you have tons of different spots for curbside pickup as well. All right, walking into Lowe's, you see they're trying to advertise Granite Off the Rip, kind of offer a couple different things that have different branding, different Lowe's deals, describe installation, things like that. And then see a variety of different colors. So the branding, the Lowe's is in a blue, which oftentimes covers high involvement decisions, and then the red, kind of gives an impulsivity and attracts people's attention when you walk in. See more seasonal doormats here. So just another product that comes into play, and kind of a decompression zone as you walk through the door into Lowe's. All right, so when you first walk in, you see immediately they drive you over to Farm and Feed. You see nice, giant, spacious aisles. The lighting ambiance, you see bright lights so you can see everything. There's no music. I take that it's so that you can give more of a focus on the products you're looking for, and if you have employee questions. When you walk in, you have a returns and a pickup zone, right conveniently located to the front, which again gives functionality to people walking in, and it gives the employees a quick direction for people to go around. So let's get into what some of the aisles look like and some of the different areas of the store. All right, so the grid layout of Lowe's gives tons of room for people to look around, make decisions. Again, blue everywhere, kind of gives customers the feel that they're making a high involvement decision on everything that they do. Tons of grills, everything here. You see all of everything in the back here. So entering the store from the right, whereas everything works back to the left. There are certain things that are up front that probably a little bit more convenient to be up front. I'll drop some pictures at the beginning, but like appliances and stuff in the back, which generally if somebody's coming to shop for that, they want them to walk all the way through the store to have to be able to look at that. You see the wide aisles, lots of lighting, so all the products are visible, great for functionality. If you cut back here, you see all the appliances in the back of the store. There's tons of different things like detergent, cleaning products, everything along the way here. Now, as I've kind of done a circle back to that first part of the store, you see their lawn and garden center off to the right. Very clearly marked, seasonal and patio very close to the front of the store. Come in, you have a paint center here, which all of this lighting and all of the countertops and everything is good for the employees to have the functionality to be able to mix paint, be able to see what they're doing. As you transition through the store, you can kind of see that everything is kind of marked in that Lowe's branding with the blue, what's made for high involvement decisions. Over here, it's odd, you can actually hear music when you're walking through the store, but not right when you walk through the door. And it's kind of a slow, rhythmic, kind of a music that wants you to take your time and, stay in the store, which with the way Lowe's setup is, if you look at the spaciousness of the store, you get the idea that Lowe's doesn't really mind if you're here for a long time. So I would say Lowe's strategy, all the way from their color scheme down to where the deals are, they want the red to attract your attention and maybe make an impulse decision on that. But then when you look at the blue in their branding and in most of their signage, They want to appear professional, something you can trust, and make you feel like you're making a high involvement decision with everything that you're buying from Lowe's. The lighting makes it to where it appeals to DIYers that need to see the product they're buying, and contractors alike. Contractors can be very particular about the products they're buying from a certain store. Gives them plenty of room to load up a product cart when they need it. And then the functionality for employees, you look at the checkout, you have a very dedicated pickup drop-off center, an entrance just for contractors, and plenty of countertops and areas for you to talk to. The one thing that I will say is, walking through the store, I haven't ran into an employee yet, because a lot of what Lowe's is looking to do is give you a sense where you can help yourself, right? They want to give you the opportunity to look, browse around, and spend as much time as you need here. Now, in terms of recommendations, something that I could personally recommend to Lowe's, I would turn the music up a little bit louder. Right now I'm walking through the store, I hear a vacuum running. It doesn't really give me the sense that I'm in the middle of an experience necessarily. So maybe the music being a little bit louder would make it more memorable. Not too loud, but just enough to drown out any of that noise, or make me feel like I'm walking through here by myself. Another thing that I would recommend is, in certain areas, maybe pumping smells in, right? For example, maybe giving a scent in this area where you have flooring and rugs of where I'd be at my house. Instead I'm getting more of the smell of lumber, which is all the way down there, but that's kind of the only smell I'm getting here. And again, different people have different reactions to certain things. For me, I don't mind the lumber smell. I think it actually gets me in the mood of a project, but to each their own. After my visit to Lowe's, in my opinion, the Servicescape is designed well. They make well of the large amount of space that they have, with multiple entrances. One being a lumber yard for contractors to pull over and pick up. They can pick up and do kind of their own version of curbside and wheel over. When a regular DIYer or a customer is walking through the door, they see different seasonal items. They see returns. They have a section for pickup right there. They have curbside pickup. So the functionality is great, especially with their grid layout. When it comes to making purchases, I do like that I see blue everywhere. It makes me feel like I'm in a high involvement decision. The music is a little bit too soft for me. I would pick it up. That way I don't feel like I'm alone in the store, or I can hear other people's conversations, or vacuum running, things like that. The smell reminds me of a lumber yard. I'm completely okay with that myself. A recommendation will be for Lowe's to maybe pump in a smell. That way they make consumers feel like maybe they're at home, and the home section or the garden section has its own natural aroma. So that helps maybe to make it a little bit more memorable of an experience. All of the colors, I mentioned the high involvement decision, the lighting, everything with that, it's great. You have large spacious aisles in case you have to bring something down, you want to look at it. You can see everything. So large wide aisles, clear signage that tells you where you're going with returns, pickups, different sections, different subsections for smaller items you need. I am a frequent DIYer and home shopper, so stuff like that definitely helps me, and it makes for a great experience for myself. And again, everyone else has a different opinion, but that stuff works for me. So again, to reiterate, the two recommendations that I have to update, I would turn the music up a little bit more in terms of the Servicescape, just to give it a little bit different of a feeling, maybe eliminate some of that cafeteria effect. And then when it comes to maybe having an employee, I assume during a busier time period they may have a greeter. I purposely went in during a lower traffic time because I didn't want to bother anybody, but having more employees to help, because maybe I think I saw one or two the entire time I was there.